Today's video is going to be a very, let's just say one I don't like. I'm not going to enjoy making this video unless I get a super good run. But still, today's video we're going to be doing NIDHOGGR. I'm going to be using this team, which in my opinion is still the better free-to-play team if you don't have a late, because this team is much more accessible. The only really unaccessible character would be Freya. Sorry, I lost thing then. Artifact card set, basic stat boost, not using everyone on the same race. So there's no point in me running the same race one. But this will be the team, and let's get into it. Oh, actually, I'll go into gear first. So we have attack crit down for Freya. Freya does not crit very often, but crit down does help with his cleave effect, which is the main DPS. HP defense for Valenti, but her defense pieces have resistance, which is what her passive is based off of. And they've got Barn, which is running full defense. So I realize that full defense is actually very good, with one side being, with both sides actually being resistance, so he is able to resist attacks as well. And then attack crit down on King, which has perfect attack rolls, and I'm pretty sure the other rolls are not anywhere near perfect, but still pretty good. This is the team I use. Obviously, I've got very high CC, very high box CC, very high constellation, so please do bear that in mind when, whilst I'm doing this video. Anyway, let's get into it. First attempt time. So I will be going over, if you hear like this is like the 20th attempt, I'm sorry, because this may take me quite a few attempts, because this boss is very RNG based. If I don't pull a cleave card, sorry, not cleave card, a king card or a Freya remove stance card, we could be here for a very long time. Normally what I like to do is, if possible, I do like to kill this thing before it ults, because if it ults, it will immediately break the shield, which is kind of irritating, unless you do try not to use barn cards, which I could do. Which I might actually try and do to see if I don't have to rush it. Because normally I would rush it. What I mean by that, I would try and end it on the first. I'd try and end it before it ults, just so that I could. I don't have to worry about Barn's shield being broken. Let me turn the game audio down just a tiny bit, because it seems to be quite a bit loud on the recording, from what I can see. But of course, it might actually be decently quiet for you. King can get as many cards as he wants, because I need as many cards as I want with King. Don't really want to have to play a barn card, because playing a barn card would then mean you'd get ult gauge, and the enemy's ult is, I believe, detonate. Yeah, it's detonate. Takes 30% less damage from there. Damage decrease taken from skills 1% for every. Okay, so the lower HP he has, the more damage reduction he gets, which is, it's okay, I guess. It's definitely not the worst. With that in mind, I'm going to use this then, and then just move that twice. Get King's ult. Because what I would like to do is, if possible, you always have a King card. Because when you have enough patience, just constantly keep getting King cards, you'll be completely fine. Oh, I might actually be able to kill here, now I think about it. Which I might go for. Normally people would save cards. I don't actually like to save cards. Mainly because then you think too much on having to save cards and how to play cards later on when it gets to the final phase is where I like to, that's when I'll just big brain it there. Okay, so I can't push anyone's ult on that. Or can I? I can actually, that's a lie. We'll do this and then we'll play this. So, in theory, it should not do much damage to Barn, because Barn does not have any ult gauge. He has 0 ult gauge. It's a detonate ultimate. It should not break the shield. Barn's after like a few stacks of Barn, you're really tanky. Shouldn't break. Perfect. That's what we want. Because if not, what will happen is when you go to the second phase, he has an extort card. You get hit by that extort card, even if it's just like 1 damage to anyone on your team, his attack pretty much goes higher than normal and you die. That's what happens. You lose immediately. Actually, I'm going to King ult, mainly so I can start cycling ultimate again, because what I want to do is keep cycling the ultimate and just get rid of all these cards, because I don't need to worry about that anymore. King's ult, decent damage, mine is 4-6. Everyone, oh yeah, I forgot to actually go over ult levels. So, King is 4-6, Barn is 4-6, Valenti's 1-6, and Freya's 2-6, as you can see here. So, very free to play, no one's 6-6, no stupid high ultimates. Now I need to play for card draw, because I have 0 cards. Okay, I'm actually going to keep... Do I want to keep that card? Or do I just play it to get rid of it? I might play it and then keep trying to cycle ults. So So normally on here, I believe he has a weak point card, or maybe no, it's a lower HP card, lower max HP card, HP related stats card, and then a extort card. The extort card is like 50%, it's a 50 or 80% level 1. It's so broken. I'll check when this turn ends, so I can get the real numbers. That's the extort card. If he hits you once, it's literally GG. If he hits you once, it's GG. That's the reason you pretty much need a King Shield every turn. That's the reason I'm playing. So for Blood, I'm literally just playing for card draw. This is a phase you literally just want to play for card draw. I'm pretty sure it is this card. 50% turn for one. Look, see how high the multiplier is as well. Oh, it's a pierced card as well as having that effect. That's kind of broken. And of course, you don't have a shield. He also has this ability, which blocks skill effect. He does have a counter as well, which is a very high multiplier. And he has a remove buffs and stances, which doesn't really matter because you're not really going to have any stances and you're not going to take a damage from it anyway. Just going to do this for hand space once again because we want to keep cycling king cards. Or hand. You want to keep cycling pretty much your entire hand to get as many king cards as humanly possible. Barn does hit very hard, but I think the only reason he does hit very hard is because the fact his relic increases his damage dealt by like 35%, which is very good, especially for someone who is used in Demonic Beast. Demonic Beasts have very high stats. Okay, as you can see here, we only have one king card, so now I'm going to do what I do sometimes, which is kind of stupid, but it works quite a bit. This is a very long phase, by the way. This is the longest phase out of the entire fight, is the second phase. I'm going to do... No. Actually, yes, I'm an idiot. Do this. Then I'm going to do... I'm just going to merge Freya. So, because I'm going to need to use a remove stance card next turn anyway, so I might as well just do this. Okay. I'm just trying to think what I'm going to do next turn. Probably going to do this because I need to remove the counter. Ult, merge, and then play. So this. We then merge for hand space. Actually, I'm going to play for ultimate again, so I'm going to merge Barn side just for the extra ult gauge for Barn. And then I'm going to use her ult because... So that damage reduction, I believe, is 60%. But it's not actually 60%, it feels like it's like stupidly higher. 79k, not too bad. Valentia probably do around maybe 30k. 60k, not actually too bad. I was expecting way lower numbers from her actually. Boom, and now we start getting king cards, which is really what we want, is just abundance of king cards. It doesn't matter, right? If you have a million bad cards, as long as you have king cards, you can do this. You can literally do this phase if you only have king cards. Of course, you will need to pull, you know, Freya cleave card. If not, your king will still take damage from the counter because the counter has some sort of bypass system because it does a lot of damage. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. This will do a decent chunk of damage. See, after removing one damage reduction stack, you can immediately tell the damage difference, which is insane. Oh, my voice. But you can easily see how insane the damage is in comparison. We're not pulling a single card for Freya, which is kind of irritating. He is pretty much the main DPS. If you're really lucky, you can one-cycle this with... Normally, I one-cycle it, but I'm going to have to two-cycle it because it's irritating. I can't play hand... I literally can't play for hand space. It's really irritating. So what you can do is, as long as you have a king card up, a king shield up at least, I should say, you're fine. You can play as many cards as you want. You won't actually take that much damage. Okay, I know what I'm actually going to do. I'm gonna get that Barn ult. I'm gonna go for both ultimates. So we can do this. We can do this. I'm gonna play these just for hand space as well as ultimates as well. Because of course he can't counter back an ultimate, which is really what I want to do. As you can see, he's going to counter, but it's going to take patience, which is what we want. Counter, patience. He will have ult next turn, but that's completely fine. We can just remove it. Unless he's ulting this turn, which still isn't really a problem because we have a King Shield up, and it's actually a decently strong King Shield. Not a single Freya card. Like, I've played Freya's ult once, and I haven't been able to play it since. Normally, the smart thing here would actually be to merge cards and play them, but I'm not actually going to do that. How much HP has he got left? Okay, he's got a lot still. So I'm just going to do... Actually, I'm going to cycle Barn's ult. I'd rather cycle Barn's ult than Valentia's ult. King will take damage here, like 30k. Oh, 17k. Not too bad. Decent damage from Valenti. Barn, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. quite a bit more. There we go. And now next turn we should be able to just kill it with one card. Hopefully Freya Cleave card? Not a single Freya card still. He is still on my team, by the way. He is sitting in that corner and he has not done anything apart from remove the stance once. This is the only pain about this Demonic Beast, is just when you don't pull the card you want. Do this, do this. And at this point, I'm actually going to do this. Come on, Bond, kill it. Bond does decent damage. There you go, 14k. Very good. For a card that is a debuff card, 14k is pretty good, especially against the high damage reduction. In my opinion, this is actually one of the best passives you can get. This passive pretty much means when you ult, you do less damage afterwards, which is pretty much what you want in this phase. Okay, now I pull Freya cards, of course. What we are going to do is play this first. I'm going to merge. I'm going to play this, because I don't really want to get Freya's ult, because that thing does way too much damage. And I'm playing the King card at the end. The reason I'm playing the King card at the end is because King does King, of course, increases your damage dealt, and actually does quite a bit of damage himself. And you preferably want to get that to 0 before you get... If you drop below 30%, he gets an insane attack-related stats boost. It doesn't matter how low you lower his attack, he will still hit you through it, which is really irritating. So currently... oh yeah, let me actually explain how it works. So every level 1 card is like 2 or 3%, depending on the card. I don't actually know it, but it's depending on the card. Level 2s are 10%, level 3s are 25%, but Pierce cards, so cards with the Pierce effect, do 2 times the multiplier. So let's just say, instead of it being 4%, sorry, instead of it being 2%, it would be 4% or 6%. Because obviously it's 2 or 3. Level 2 would be 20%, and a level 3, instead of being 25%, would be 50%. So Pierce card is what they actually want you to use. That's the reason Freya is so good for it, because she has, of course, the Pierce card. I'm also going to get rid of this as well, just to cycle, and then we'll do this. This will get us to 30% on the marker, which is pretty good. There you go, 40%. What I normally do is I like to get it roughly 20%-ish, maybe like 22%. Don't do 30% because that means you have to play 3 level 2s, which I don't actually like doing. Okay, it's not actually too bad. We have actually got a decent hand for killing next turn. Problem is I'm probably going to have to play a level 2, or I'm actually probably going to King ult, and then I'll move Freya's cards. Yeah, so we're going to King ult. I'm going to move Freya's cards. He's going to get his ult next turn, that's completely fine. I'm also going to go for Barnes ult, and then we'll play this as well. This should not take below 30% unless he crits. Problem is he can crit, and when he crits he gets like 180k, which will immediately take you down, so please do bear that in mind if you do crit, which is a very rare occasion. It's only happened to me on a very few occasions, but you know, it can happen, and it is a slight problem. But as long as you know how to play around it, it's not too bad. Okay, so what I'm probably going to do here is... we are going to play the King card for the increased damage, play the Barn card, play this Cleave card. The reason I'm doing it in this way instead of playing the ult first, because normally I would play the ult for playing for the ultimate, but my plan is that this should do a lot of damage, and this will take the bar to 0. When the bar goes down to 0, he loses immortality and loses the damage reduction, meaning you can do normal damage, and then Freya's ult, which has a stupidly high multiplier and the death damage effect, will be able to do maximum amount of damage here. You see King's doing a lot of damage now, everyone else's damage boost. Boom, 173k from Barn, which is very good. See, he's got the attack-related stat buff, which I believe is about 60% in total. There you go. And now the ultimate to finish it off. James does slightly more than the Cleave, but that's because, of course, Cleave is a very high multiplier and a very good effect. But that's it. That's how to do it. This video is much shorter than what I, thought it was going to be. And then the pain is, if you want to get Freya's Relic, it's a 10% drop chance of getting the thing every time. And I have to farm it 12 more times to get it 12 more times. And to get that material 12 more times, then I can make her Relic, then I can actually start farming this Demonic Beast on at least floor 2. Which is mainly what I try and do. If you do have the resources to get her Relic, I would highly recommend it, especially if you have Mael, if you have everyone else built. It does make the experience much better and much easier. Especially, if you want to get these Relics over time. Floor 2 is where I recommend... Unless you know you can do floor 3, then yeah, go for floor 3. If not, floor 2 is a very steady place to start getting relics, because you end up getting 6 of the material a week. Means it'll take you 5. Yes, it'll take you 5 weeks to get a relic, but it's not as bad as taking 15 weeks to only doing floor 1, which, as you can see, it's a big difference. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.